Come through, queen. I wanna see ya. Come through, queen.
Hi, everyone. It's Dan.
And Brendan.
And this is Come Through Queen. So, Brendan, we're coming a little early this week due to scheduling issues. And when we started talking about having to record a little early, I was like, oh, damn, we're only going to have Potomac and Salt Lake City to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
And little did we know the Bravo world would explode with news this week.
There's so much news. Start spreading it.
Start spreading the news. And we had a week like this a few weeks ago with like trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only so much to discuss about trailer. This week is like
Off-camera news.
Off-camera, crazy news we would have never expected.
Mm-hmm.
I think 4 pretty big news stories.
Yeah.
Let's get to maybe the news story that kind of hits closest to home, one might say.
Well, it's over. Or is it?
Or is it?
Who knows?
Okay. So there have been approximately 100 RHONY Legacy page 6 articles this week.
It's wild.
So take your pick as to which one you're going to look at. We are looking at one that was published yesterday that RHONY cast blames each other for the Legacy deal collapse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Housewives divided cannot stand ... each other. I love the writing on page 6. It's like Shakespeare, page 6.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. Page 6 has learned that RHONY died as they lived, fighting. We hear that the potential stars of the new Legacy edition of the Bravo show weren't on the same page about whether or not to accept a deal that would get the show on the air. And that the ones who were ready to sign on the dotted line were pretty pissed at the holdouts who brought the whole thing crashing down. We previously reported that the network, which has rebuilt the main Housewives of New York show from the ground up and booted the veteran cast members, have been in talks with old-timers Luann, Sonia, Jill, Kelly, and Dorinda about a so-called Legacy edition that would run parallel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but talks came to a standstill with the talent asking for more money per episode and more guaranteed episodes per season, but Bravo insisting that the stars overestimate their worth. Now we hear that it wasn't a unanimous decision on the part of the Housewives. Sources say that, for example, Kelly was ready to sign, but a source closer complained that Zarin was pushing for a big payday that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Additionally, Medley was ready to sign, and Sonia was barely paying attention.
On brand.
So there's more. There's so much more to this. Like Andy tweeted, "Don't believe everything that you read."
Mm-hmm.
Then John Hill asked him about this on Radio Andy, and then he says like how there's pockets of truth to everything that's out there.
And then Luann was like caught, quote unquote, like at a restaurant reading this very page 6 story. And then they wrote another page 6 story about her and her comments.
And then Lou and Dorinda went out to lunch with Ramona, who's not even part of this conversation.
I know. And Sonia's been posting today. It's like the girls are now like lip syncing for their lives.
Then did you see the part where like Heather was in talks as long as it was guaranteed that Leah and Ebony were not involved?
Wild.
I kind of think like this isn't all bad. I think it's an exercise in the fact that like everyone is paying attention and caring, showing like, oh, does this matter?
Yeah, and I think the network is probably trying to push these girls a little bit so that negotiations go a little easier. I also think, I have a theory. The page 6 article saying that Jill's the holdout doesn't smell right to me.
It sounds insane.
It doesn't sound real to me. It sounds like Dorinda's people leaked that.
Yeah, it smells of Dorinda.
Yeah. Even though the article says it was like Kelly's sources or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, so like Jill knows what a check from NBC Universal looks like these days for a Jill Zarin.
Yeah.
So like, how do you go from that to being the holdout who wants a crazy sum?
I don't know. Especially,
we all know this isn't going to be like a normal Housewives season.
Yeah, it's going to be weird.
It's going to be weird. It's like, to me, I'm picturing it like vacation adjacent, which is why I don't even understand. Why don't they just do it like Ultimate Girls Trip, RHONY Girls? I
don't know. I have a feeling that like season 2 of RHONY rebooted is gonna like reincorporate some of these women.
I'm thinking that too. Like if this sinks, we're almost guaranteed.
Yeah.
To see some old faces on RHONY reboot.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so. Or at least I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
Let's go back to like season 9 when life was good.
Do we know that reboot is done yet? Because I know they filmed a trip recently.
I think it must be done.
It's probably, if not done now, soon.
It's ending very soon, yeah.
Yeah, because it was a destination vacation that they were on.
The problem is the reboot women are too social media savvy that they never post shit in real time. So you aren't getting the good behind the scenes coverage that we would for like if Vicky Gunvalson was there.
Sure. Yeah. Wow. Anything else on RHONY reboot?
I mean, two people who aren't in the conversation who I want to be are Carol and Tinsley.
Well, I think Tinsley was in the conversation as an official bow out. Like she just was not interested in it. I have not seen Carol's name anywhere.
Well, Carol hates.
I know Carol hates, but it's not a Nene situation where we're like suing the network or something. So I feel like there's always room to make up. I mean, Bethany has done so many bad things that I wouldn't be surprised to see her back.
I know. Everyone stand together, grab each other's hands and pray we get something. This podcast was built on RHONY.
I know. Like we started as a new season was premiering.
Yeah.
Like, that was the reason for the season.
Season 8.
Jules. Wow.
Oh, let's get her back in the picture. Actually today I was looking at the picture of us at Stonewall with Jules, where your husband was choking her.
Sonia famously posted today on Instagram, like, what season was this? Jules Weinstein, bring her back too.
Well, she spelled Jules' name wrong.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Jules, come back to us.
Okay. I mean, this has been big news, but some other big news over in Potomac.
Your silence has been deafening about Robyn, actually, as the biggest Robyn superfan.
Except like my support of Candace, and I think we all know I'm a Candace super fan. I'm the one who was like making us drive across state lines to go see her.
I bought merch at her booth at BravoCon and at her show.
I know, but you bought merch. One was a gift for me.
Yeah.
And then at the show was like in support of the artist.
Did you buy merch in either situation?
Yeah, I bought a t-shirt.
Have you worn it?
I'm actually like trying to not wear it in order to like preserve it.
For what?
Just because, you know, when you wear like a t-shirt too much, like it eventually begins to fade and stuff.
Are you going to put it in a frame?
No, it's got to be like the like sacred moments, you know?
Okay. Oh yeah. One of your like LEWKS, which is a t-shirt and some shorts.
Wow. Okay. Let's tune into people.com with a summary of what's going on with Robyn Dixon.
Okay.
So headline, Robyn Dixon admits, quote unquote, idiot husband Juan Dixon's DMs with another woman stalled their wedding. Quote unquote, we worked through it. Now, isn't this interesting? This is coming a week after the delayed announcement of their wedding that was held in secret, possibly filmed for the season finale.
Yeah, and it's also interesting that it's coming after the reunion where she would have had to answer for this.
I know. But when we got the season finale preview, I don't see where a wedding even fits in unless it's just like a picture on the beach. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think we're getting a wedding. I'm sorry.
Okay. So People says, Robyn Dixon is setting the record straight about what really put her wedding on hold. On the latest episode of Dixon's Reasonably Shady podcast, the Real Housewives of Potomac star admitted that she had known about her husband Juan's alleged infidelity during the pandemic prior to filming season 7. She said Juan was an idiot and communicated with this woman on Instagram because, you know, whatever, he's bored, he needs attention, it's the pandemic, blah, blah, blah. They did not date. He did not fly her anywhere. The Bravo star said that the woman came forward with a hotel receipt that had his name on it, but Robyn claimed that there was a reason behind it. And then this is where it really gets good.
Mm-hmm.
On the Reasonable Shady podcast, she says, like us, head over to Patreon for more information. It's like if you're not subscribed to the Patreon, you're only getting half the story.
It's so stupid.
It's
bad.
almost like it's like holding a mirror up to us.
No. Well, we're like, do you want to hear us talk about The Last of Us? Though maybe I think we mentioned Patreon too much. We should stop.
Okay. But if you want to hear us talk about The Last of Us. So she noted on Patreon that the woman messaged Juan about losing her wallet and asked him if he could pay for her hotel while she was in town. She said that Juan put his credit card down and walked away from the hotel. She said, the situation when it was presented to me was handled. It was discussed. It was something that we just had to work through, you know? It was not something that was just, oh, okay, whatever. She added, maybe that's why the wedding didn't happen when you all wanted it to.
Defend your fave.
I'm not defending it. Shit. I mean, it's so psychotic. Like, this woman loses her wallet in they call it the DMV area?
Sure.
Right? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah.
And then who does she turn to book a hotel? Juan Dixon. But like, can't you book a hotel from afar, from anywhere? Like,
well, when you check into a hotel, you have to put your card down. Have you ever been to a hotel?
but that part always feels so like I'm like half paying attention. You know,
no, you
I mean?
like usually give your card and an ID, and they swipe your card and keep it for incidentals and to pay for the actual room.
Sure, but like Juan doesn't know this woman.
I know.
Why would he do this for a stranger?
Because he was allegedly having an affair. It's like, why make up this like Looney Tunes story?
Yeah.
And it's like, first of all, part of like between Juan and Robyn, a lot of their marital strife has been because of money, because they had a bunch of money, they lost a bunch of money for trusting someone outside the marriage. So it's like you're going and handing out hotel rooms to women you met on Instagram.
Yeah, and like theoretically, she could have like gone buck wild like the White Lotus girl is and just charge a whole bunch of stuff to the room.
Yeah, give me some M&Ms that cost like $12.
I want a $12 M&M. Okay, so needless to say, some of our faves are having the time of their life.
Yeah,
with us.
Of course.
Candace with a thread on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of like the finest words put to paper.
Yes. Referring to Andy as their employer.
I know. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I want to, like, you got to have just a taste because I know some of you are not on Twitter, so like you might be missing this. She says, wow, a thread, our boss's favorite clapback when we're playing coy about certain aspects of our lives is, quote unquote, you're in a reality show about your life. There's an expectation that doing no harm, we show up on this platform as our authentic selves. And she continues, and while we reserve the right to be judicious about what we share, there is a special brand of audacity attached to individuals who will knowingly bury the lead in exchange for damning and salacious lies that stand to cause irreparable harm to innocent people. Obviously about herself and Chris, and then the whole Karen situation. Yeah. And it goes on and on and on. Candace is the main pop girly of Potomac.
She is. Also, Karen has been doing interviews about this.
Yes.
I just like, it's so bad because Robyn knew what was going on in her own life, and she like went after Karen in that huge way.
Yeah.
And I mean, she at least defended Candace during the season.
Yeah.
For the most part, but I understand why Candace is mad because Robyn's telling this story while sitting across from Giselle.
Yeah.
My
Your fave?
No, I don't know if I can stand by that anymore. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of rumors going around as to like what this will do. I saw one thing saying like Giselle gets a demotion and Robyn is just off altogether, which I find hard to believe.
It's like, wouldn't you want them to have to be confronted by this?
I know. But I mean, I do see the POV of the network being like, we're letting you do this podcast, right? Which like, I think a certain number of years ago, they probably would not have let talent do podcasts like this.
Yeah, like Tamra can do her podcast, but she's not allowed to talk about OC on it and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and we're talking about Potomac on it right now. Plugging the Patreon, doing that, and then like shifting it to right after the season wraps is not good.
Robyn looks horrible.
Yeah.
I think she's had a horrible season as far as just like her behavior and like what she's done the entire time.
Yeah.
The thing against Wendy the entire season.
Oh my God.
It's like, what the fuck? Like this bone that she has to pick with Wendy over like even this episode, which we'll get into, just like for having like a facial expression at a dinner table.
It's giving Alexia and Gertie right now.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't think this is on the schedule that we recently saw tweeted out on Twitter of like Beverly Hills is Valentine's Day.
For Cameras Up.
Yeah, Cameras Up. Dubai is like a week later. There's one other show. Beverly Hills, Dubai, and I can't remember.
Salt Lake.
Salt Lake is up February 15th or something. Yeah. So like we have all this. Potomac, we don't know when they're going to be starting at.
We need some reorganization here. Mia has to go.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like Mia's had like an entertaining season.
There's just something about what Mia's bringing that's like not
okay.
I don't know. That's just my opinion. And then like maybe we're demoting Robyn to friend of.
Okay.
But then we need Cha-Cha.
Get out of here. Enough.
No, to exit.
Oh, to exit. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, I thought you were saying like we need her.
No, we'll get to this.
Oh my God.
We'll get to this, but
okay. It's crazy. Okay, so these two stories have been consuming our lives. Until these two stories came up, all we were thinking about all weekend was Rugged 4 news.
Yeah. And then on Monday, this news came out. The official
account of the news.
Yes. So Brandi Glanville and Caroline Manzo exit Rugged early over unwanted kisses. So Brandi Glanville and Caroline Manzo both left season 4 of Real Houses of Ultimate Girls Trip early. The reality stars were filming in Marrakesh last week when Manzo voluntarily exited. Meanwhile, Glanville was reportedly asked to leave after allegedly non-consensually kissing Manzo multiple times during a party. Quote, "It was unwanted, and Caroline's distress over the matter did not seem to stop Brandi," an insider told People. Things escalated and physical boundaries were allegedly crossed that Caroline felt were serious and uncomfortable. So Brandi apparently apologized via text, but the network did decide her behavior was inappropriate and gave her the boots. So this happened, like, I want to say Friday night. And then like the last night of the trip was Saturday night.
Okay, right, yeah.
So it happened late in the game. So they're going to be on the show for a while.
Yeah. They're probably like, if it's I could see it being like to be continued into the last episode.
Yeah.
And then like the ladies have one episode without them.
It's just like, Brandi,
Dummy.
why are you ruining your own life again? Like, you just got back on TV. They're giving you all these shows on Peacock.
Yeah.
And you fucking shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
Idiot.
So dumb. I mean, we thought at first, based off of what was rumbling online, that it was like a Brandi, Caroline, Dina Manzo moment.
I never thought that.
You never thought it?
I'm on the record saying, why are we automatically believing these Brandi, Caroline things without any sources?
So to me, it's not like I believe it, but to me, like, it's something I could conjure up in my brain.
Sure.
You know, versus like,
And somebody did conjure it up in their brain.
I know, but of course, because it's something that would be believable. Like this, it's like, how did this happen?
I mean, this is Brandi, though. How many times has she thrown herself at somebody unwanted?
Yeah.
And I don't know. We'll watch what happens, I guess.
Watch on live, yeah.
It's just like, and then watching them all leave was wild. And like Alex had to take like 7 planes to get back to Australia. She was literally like watching her journey. It was over a day, I think, to get back home.
We were like following her every step of the way. And then like we've been keeping an eye on like, it's like footage of Sasquatch in the woods. Like there was that one image of Alex, Vicky,
and Brandi
in like a market.
Yeah. Alex only follows Vicky and Gretchen.
How did we get here?
I don't know.
I think the early buzz was like a lot of Vicky Gretchen fighting.
Yeah, we haven't heard a lick about Camille.
I did see another Sasquatch photo of potentially Camille dressed up as Lisa Vanderpump.
Oh,
so maybe they're doing cosplay.
Oh my god!
She has like a brunette wig holding up like a stuffed dog or something.
I have not seen this.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's another thing that's like so blurry that I don't even know what I'm looking at until someone tells me what I'm looking at.
I mean, like, don't we have good cameras on our phones these days, though?
No, but I mean, I think even our good cameras, if you're zooming in from across the way, does get a little blurry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's crazy that this is all happening and we still don't have a lick of Rugged 3.
I know. I saw that trailer so long ago.
I know. It's like another life. Wow. Okay. We have one more news story.
And this one is
tragic, in my opinion.
Some people are very happy about this for whatever reason.
Some people are throwing parades in the street right now. So Page 6 reports, Mary Cosby returning to Salt Lake City in friend role amidst cast shakeup. The subheadline, get ready to read like a scripture, little girl.
Oh my God.
Mary Cosby will be returning to Salt Lake City in a friend of role, several sources confirmed to Page 6 on Wednesday. One source clarified to us that Cosby has not been cast as a full-time housewife, but instead will film a few scenes of the upcoming season, which is set to resume production February 13th. Mary wanted to come back, the insider said. However, a second source explained that while Cosby had hoped to come back to the franchise, she needed time to process Jenny Wynn's racist controversy. Wynn was fired in January 2022 after one season. And Mary was dealing with a lot of trauma after season 2. The insider told us of Cosby, who notably skipped the season 2 reunion before exiting the show altogether.
Yeah.
So here's what I don't really understand. Remember, like, wasn't it Heather and Whitney or like one other gal filming outside of Mary's church?
I think it was Heather and Jen Shaw.
Yeah, as it's like shutting down.
Well, this was like the wild thing where we got like all this filming happened before the season started.
Yeah.
And
before the reunion finished.
What I'm trying to say is like we didn't see a bunch of stuff was filmed.
Yes,
because they had to like figure out like what the cast
after
was.
Jenny was fired.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to be back with Mary?
So, filming is starting February 13th. Jen leaves February 17th.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's even like, are we connecting the through line there?
I don't know. We thought they were going to connect the through line with Jenny leaving this season, and they never did that.
They never did that, yeah.
Is it out of sight, out of mind?
Yeah. So to me, I think obviously Salt Lake City needs so much work. We don't know what transpires during Ultimate Girls Trip, but with this reunion being filmed after Ultimate Girls Trip, it seems like it's kind of almost irrelevant what happened there. I worry about Mary coming back and us going back into like a crazy nonsensical place with Salt Lake City, which I feel like it cannot get out of.
Yeah, I mean, it's remained a crazy nonsensical place, even with Mary out of the picture.
Yeah.
And she only adds to that. Also, what's going to happen to our beloved Angie's?
Particularly H.
Yeah, we need her back.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think this is the answer.
Is there no one else in that city?
I mean, it seems like there's women hungry to be
Lining
up. Like, grab one of the women in the choir.
Yeah. Grab them from the line outside, like the talent show.
Yeah. I'm not excited about this, but I guess we'll see. I mean, we're in February now, and we're just a few weeks away from cameras being up.
It's like, why do we need to get Salt Lake City up and running right now?
Versus what?
I mean, like, it's taken a very long time for, like, Beverly Hills to get cameras up, and they go up the day after.
I think with Beverly Hills, they wanted to give them a breath, especially with. I think the breath is needed if you have Lisa Rinna leaving. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, that's besides the point. I'm talking about Salt Lake City. Why do we need the cameras up? We need a breath here.
You know, maybe here's another theory. Maybe we need it up because it's kind of like how Salt Lake filmed for so long before the first season to like get to a place where we have an actual season.
Yeah, they also like to film during the winter because it adds to the snow. Like, why would they be holding snowflakes in the summer?
Yeah, that wouldn't make a lot of sense. Okay,
cool.
Okay, so as we mentioned at the beginning of the episode, we're coming to you a little early this week. That means we unfortunately are not covering this week's Miami. However, we will touch base with the gals next week. And luckily, I feel like we have two important episodes this week.
Very important.
Potomac, Salt Lake City.
Yes.
Potomac, we are
back from Mexico.
Recovering. We are going wedding dress shopping. Now, the fact that the name of the wedding dress shop is called Deja Vu.
I get deja vu when I'm with you, Olivia Rodrigo.
For the woman who is remarrying her ex-husband.
Wow.
To go to Deja Vu.
Perfect.
Why would a wedding dress shop be called Deja Vu?
Maybe it's about like when people come in there, they feel deja vu because they've been
dreaming of this dress all their life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a stretch though.
I mean, I would think that would be the selling point over remarrying your ex-husband. Yeah. So we have obviously our other green-eyed bandit with us. And we have Ashley coming in for a drive-by.
She loves a drive-by, whether it be in person or even on FaceTime.
She's coming in to drop a bomb because we at the end of last week's episode, which, you know, we recap last week's episode, and I feel like we didn't settle into all of it. Like Blue Eyes, we didn't spend that much time on upon reflection. The chaos that the night descended into. Obviously, we were only teased that, but now Ashley is
telling us what happened.
We're getting a lot of imagery from that one Instagram photo that was posted in real time. And it's always nice when we get something in real time of Ashley, Mia, Candace, Wendy, 4 girls hanging out, having a fun time together.
Like against a wall.
Laughing, smiling.
And like we, in real time back then, were like, Ashley and Candace.
Yeah. Important.
Are they going to bury the hatchet?
And we keep getting like hints of maybe that'll happen. And as like the season was wrapping up, it's like they're having a good time at this bachelorette party, obviously end of episode. Where do we go? And then Candace was recently on Watch What Happens Live post reunion, seemingly back in a bad place again.
The thing is, there's one person to blame here, and it's Ashley Darby. Ashley Darby doesn't get a lot of the ire, I feel like, from the fans that like the more obvious shit stirs are getting. Like Giselle and Robyn obviously are rightfully so getting a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, if like Ashley's almost head shit stir. She's got the biggest spoon.
Yeah, she's got the biggest spoon. I mean, if she knew what was good for her, she would do at least a 1-season tag team with Candace.
We need the dolls to go back and study Gretchen and Tamra.
The original
dolls who, when they knew the going was tough, were like, we have to form an alliance.
Yeah. It's like, what have we not done yet?
I know. And it's like, Candace, you're a student of this. And I actually think Candace probably wanted to go this direction. But fucking Ashley Darby.
He's fucking up.
With their big ass spoon that she's stirring shit with.
I keep thinking like you're about to say her big ass forehead
No.
like Candace. And I say this as a big foreheaded person.
No.
So I'm allowed to say it as well. I just keep thinking you're going to say that, but you keep going to the spoon instead.
I would never.
I know you would never. But like that, I keep thinking you're like about to land there.
When I was saying big ass, I was like, holy shit, I sound like Candace right now.
Yeah. Okay. So she drops the scoop at the wedding dress venue that Wendy and Mia were kind of getting into each other's business.
I know, but she implicates Giselle in dropping the scoop because she only really drops it to Giselle.
Oh, yeah, because Robyn's like in the dressing room.
So then Giselle has to become a messenger as well.
And it was funny that Giselle wanted to talk to Mia first before telling Robyn, but then ends up telling Robyn during a reasonably shady recording session that we see in a flashback before her sit down with Mia.
The thing is, it's like Giselle's going to tell Robyn.
Well, Giselle's going to tell Robyn, but it's like, was she telling Robyn while recording Reasonably Shady as additional Reasonably Shady promo because she knew this would be included in the show? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Smart.
Yeah. Subscribe to the Patreon.
When we're on our reality show, I'm gonna do tons of dropping things in this little recording room.
Sure. Okay. But it sounded like it's like we're talking about the business, but I don't think Mia nor Wendy are that offended by this being talked about.
Yeah.
You know?
You would think Wendy would be. Because Mia tries to point out, Mia tries to frame it like Wendy wanted to go.
Oh, yeah.
But they didn't have like the consent of their husbands.
Yeah.
So Mia's being dirty here too.
Yeah.
Also, it's so going to this home of Mia's that now she no longer is in.
Okay, yes.
Is wild.
Yes. Well, I love that we kept the huge motif of wine bottles displayed on the wall, carried over from the condo to the home.
Yeah.
To, I'm sure, wherever they are right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have Giselle going over to Mia's because they're planning the Bachelorette and Mia knows strippers.
Yes. One thing I like about Giselle is when she enters a home, she's got to look around.
Of course. She's getting inspiration for her own house of horrors.
Which I would love to visit. That's like the eighth wonder of the world. Giselle's West Wing.
Do we still have a staircase to nowhere?
I hope so. I thought that was like art pop.
Yeah. It's actually an installation. You're not meant to walk on the stairs. Okay. So we are hashing out invites and group chats. Mm-hmm. And not making the list are Karen
and Wendy. And Ashley is so happy the moment she gets the group text and notices that they're not on it. So happy to FaceTime in.
I mean, obviously the Karen thing is obvious. But we're now icing Wendy out.
For making a face.
A second time?
Yeah, for making a face. Karen at that lunch ordered crab dip, I think, just for her entree.
Yeah, crab dip for entree. Like a dip for entree is an interesting. Like we're not sharing.
No,
this is my dip.
Dip
is what she's
gonna be my little toasted pita bread.
And then what did Wendy order?
Fish tacos.
Oh yeah, that's a reasonable order.
Yeah. Though,
what?
I love a fish taco.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not the right move.
Oh well, so here's my tip about fish taco. We got to ask, number one, what kind of fish is it? Mm-hmm. Tilapia, get out of here. Mm-hmm. Number two, we got to ask, how is it prepared? Is it a fried fish? Mm-hmm. Is it a grilled fish? Mm-hmm. The options are limitless, really.
Yeah.
So I need to know, there's a lot of information, because like fish taco is so broad.
It is.
It really is.
I will say, best fish burrito in the game was at Creek and Cave.
Oh.
May she rest in peace. A comedy club, weirdly.
It's like, get your fish taco, get your fish burrito, go into the cave downstairs.
Yeah.
Stop for a game of pinball.
Yeah.
Remember the room of pinball machines?
Yeah.
Before taking in your comedy show.
May she rest in peace.
That was a Long Island City institution.
And it's so interesting because like we would go when I lived in Manhattan and you lived in Brooklyn.
I know, but actually I think Long Island City is like secretly a good midpoint for like certain combinations of people.
Well, yeah, it's like convenient to, I lived in Hell's Kitchen, very convenient to Hell's Kitchen, only a few stops away.
Yeah, and from downtown Brooklyn was not bad either.
Yeah, just get on that G.
Get on the G. Wow. Oh my God, truly RIP. Okay, so I don't like where the invite list is going, but we then get the opportunity to like check in with the uninvited. Mm-hmm. Wendy, I gotta say, looking Gorgina.
Maybe Mia had a point.
Maybe it's like Mia's making it seem like Wendy was so thirsty. I'm thirsty right now watching Wendy do her commentary.
Well, the way Ashley told it was that Mia kept on commenting about how like gorgeous Wendy was.
Yeah, sure.
So I mean, both unreliable narrators, but I would believe Ashley Darby over Mia.
Okay.
Ashley Darby is messy, but
slightly more reliable than Mia.
I mean, Mia doesn't know where she is half the time.
Yeah. And it's strange timeline-wise that we are back when Roe v. Wade was being overturned.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like having that as a distinction of like what time and place we're at.
We were about to go to P-Town.
Oh yeah, wow.
Because that was the night before.
Oh my God, you're right. Wow. So end of June.
June, yeah.
Wow. And then Karen. This, you got to give it to her, because like sometimes filming a solo scene is a challenge, I would say.
Yeah, but she's a hustler.
A challenge that not everyone is up for.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that she says, I'd rather be posting a photo of myself handing someone a check than going to the bachelorette party. It's so funny. We're going up from a 3-way to a 4-way.
Good.
Limited edition. And someone posted a screenshot online of the typo. She wrote limited edition, like ADDIDION.
Oh my God. Let's get a copywriter here.
This candle is like $150. What? But for some reason, it doesn't offend me that in the same way that the charade thing offended me.
Right.
Like, because to me, this is just comedy, whereas like the charade thing is like, you actually could have had something. Like, didn't we almost have it all?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, and like $150 for a candle. There are candles that expensive.
There are candles that, like, oh my God. Those candles, I'm sorry. The candles with all the jumbled letters that the girls love.
Diptyque?
Yeah.
Not the candles with all the jumbled letters that the girls love. And me knowing what you're talking about.
I feel like those are $150 for a single wick.
Oh, but these people like to act like they're cool. You know where I get my candles? Fucking Target. Target. There's a scent called Moonbeam, and it really gets my goat.
Oh my God, wait, guys. And I gave you the quick tip about the fish tacos. Here's your second quick tip.
Your fish taco tip was like rambling on.
Okay, well, this one, I'm going to get straight to the point.
Okay.
If you have the opportunity, like if you're returning something to Amazon, sometimes they'll be like, oh, bring it to Kohl's. I'm like, okay, I guess so. So I fucking...
They've never told me this.
No. So I've had... And then like, for some reason, bringing it to Whole Foods is not an option. Like I have to bring it to Kohl's. Okay, fine. So I've done this twice. Both times I go bring it to Kohl's. When you bring it to Kohl's, the person at Kohl's gives you $5 in Kohl's cash. So then I take those $5 in Kohl's cash. I walk over to the candle aisle. Mm-hmm. I'm finding candles on clearance that it's like, winter scents, but hello,
it's winter.
We're still in winter.
Yeah.
So I still got use for it. So I got we're clearance, $5 in Kohl's cash. I'm paying pennies.
Like a Douglas fir scented candle.
Yes, I'm paying pennies for a Douglas fir candle in January.
There's no Kohl's near me.
Oh yeah, I know. This is in like we're practically in the ocean.
Well, maybe they should open up Kohl's in Central Brooklyn so I can go.
Yeah. But just, guys, obviously, if there's a Kohl's by you, consider
My mom loves Kohl's. She loves Kohl's.
Tell your mom about this trick.
Yeah.
If she needs to return something.
Sometimes she lets me use her account to buy stuff on Kohls.com.
Well.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's head on over in a Sprinter van, wearing matching snakeskin ones. That's not called onesies. Catsuits?
Catsuits. I hate this look.
Oh, you hate it?
Yeah.
Okay. It was funny that the assignment was everyone come dress sexy. And I'm not knocking her, but Robyn's look was the least exciting for me.
Well, she's a bride to be.
So she's trying to be a little more demure.
I don't know. She also never understands the assignment.
Yeah. She doesn't even understand the assignment of being on a reality show.
Well,
so
yeah, I know.
How can we expect her? I do got to say, we did have a lot of fun with Candace this episode. We're talking about Cookie Monster again. Mm-hmm. We're
brunching on the porch with Chris.
Oh yeah, she's filling him in on how the trip went. Mm-hmm. We're talking about where we're going with, we're continuing with the baby journey with Chris. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a couple to watch on this show.
Yeah, it's play Vindicated by Dashboard Confessional Alexa.
Imagine if people's Alexas were vindicated. Is that how it goes?
It goes, vindicated, I was nothing, I was wrong.
Oh, I think I was doing a little Creed style.
Yeah, I remember this guy played it on our last day of school in the theater.
Did you feel
vindicated? Yeah. He's now gay.
Aren't they all?
I think he lives in Brooklyn.
Okay. I obviously have to point out Candace as Cha-Cha is sauntering and sliding in. saying legs, hips, and body.
I know, I caught that.
I was screaming.
And I mean, it's like foreshadowing for, we know at the finale party, they were dancing to legs and hips and body.
Yes.
Which probably won't be included, but nice to know that happens.
Yeah. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Speaking of Cha-Cha, as soon as we see her, she starts mumbling and whining how she should have been the one hosting this party.
Why does she have this confessional to say that?
But like, honestly, mumbling and whining.
It's like, you're not hosting because you're not full-time on the show.
I should have been home trainer.
Didn't she used to have a little more pep in her step?
I don't know. You tell me. Because I wasn't rooting or pepping or anything with her.
I wasn't rooting for her back then either, but for some reason, I got it in my little brain of brains.
Like, hearing you talk about this, who would ever want you to host a party?
I know.
It'd be the saddest party I've ever been to.
I know. They'd like be in the champagne room or whatever.
I mean, the only good thing was like she was the happiest one munching on the lobster. She was like grabbing it from everyone.
She also was like, she was wasted when she started running her mouth at the strip club, right?
Oh yes, yeah.
Because
yeah.
she was slur.
Yeah, she was. It's just funny that like she's like that talking about Karen.
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
And they're like trying to like slut shame Karen, and it's like very like we're in a plate. Like, why? No, it just none of it made sense.
Trying to screw the workers. The workers was also
like, oh my
was
God.
also sending me.
I haven't been to a strip club in a very long time, and I want to go back.
Oh,
I've only been twice.
I've never been.
But
I am good.
I went to Claremont Lounge, which is famous in Atlanta. They've got like this whole legacy, and then I went to a boys strip club in Atlanta.
Okay, so the first one's a girl, and the second one's a boy.
Yeah, the first one's like it's known for like older women, and they play like funk music, and it's in the bottom of this hotel.
Yeah,
it's like very famous in Atlanta. Second one was Swinging Richards, which is also famous in Atlanta, and I heard it's closing soon.
Oh,
that was men.
Sad. Wow. Yeah. Another Candace moment with Ashley. When Ashley was talking about, oh, well, things are good with Michael. And Candace is like, he was in my man's restaurant with a bench.
And Ashley's like, that's very disappointing to hear.
I know. Like, her whole, like, little storyline right there just, like, took a nosedive.
I know.
She's like, okay, pivot.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just, like, them sitting around all talking about Karen. It was bad. And then Mia just like, this is what I mean when she doesn't know where she is.
Oh, just making things up.
Because she starts like saying that Karen's like a sex worker all this stuff. And like then she has this whole narrative about how G told her that when men get older, they make an arrangement with their younger wives. That if you can't climb the stairs anymore, you can't climb me or something. This is why I said earlier, like, Mia's losing the script for me. It's like, if you can't even, like, if you don't even know where you are or, like, what's...
Well, like, I guess, like, my counterpoint is that, is anyone taking Mia seriously?
No. And, like, I also am eating my words from the beginning of the season where I'm like, she's delusional and beautiful and I love her.
So, and I think, like, actually those words are still correct.
I don't know if I love her anymore.
Yeah.
Like, her behavior in Miami was horrible.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that, to me, was the worst part.
And the Jacqueline stuff is horrible.
Yeah. I think that's it. And surprisingly, next week is the finale.
Not surprisingly. It's time.
It's time. The preview showed a lot. It didn't, like I mentioned earlier in this episode, did not show a hint of a wedding.
Yeah. I think it's also interesting. People are saying Potomac's in its like flop era right now. And I'm like, but we're all talking about it more than ever.
I think we're actually finally past, as a society, if you're not watching Potomac, like, you're missing out. It's like, no, we're actually all watching at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't think we're still doing like the promo era. Well,
there are a lot of people who still...
Well, I mean, that's like the people who don't watch the Black Housewives shows.
Yeah, the racists.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's it for Potomac. shall we get to our finale?
Yes.
Part 2 of the Salt Lake City reunion, which there was a moment we thought was going to be 3 parts.
And it's not.
And it's not.
I will say, rooting for basically no one, but was entertained.
Yeah, I mean, we did, to give context, watch this as a family.
Yes.
While recording tonight's episode. So I feel like that made it more enjoyable.
Yeah.
To some degree. This was a whiplash-inducing episode, I would say.
Yes. It was like when Drag Race has to
yes.
zoom through the runway.
It's as if the Real Friends of Rio aired right after that.
Which I wish. Which we didn't discuss in the pre-show, sadly.
Oh my God. Although I don't think this episode was as iconic as the first episode.
I liked the little fight. When the guy lost his jacket and the other guy was like, "Don't worry, it's from Zara, and it really just like pissed the other guy off.
Yeah. And then Brad's like, "No, it's Saint Laurent." Right? Isn't that what he said?
Yeah.
Okay. So like, but when I say it's whiplash, it's like, friends are here. Get out, friends. Husbands, come here. No, get out. Jen, Sean.
They should have let Angie H sit.
Yeah.
At least like maybe in the background.
Oh yeah, that would have been like very chic to have like the 3 friends preside over this.
Or have them like in the shadows in the church. Like in a pew.
With the rest of the choir.
Yeah, get the bear out there.
the real bears. I'm so like.
The names people come up for themselves when they're Bravo fans.
Okay. So Heather Gay's now dealing with the additional trauma that we are potentially calling this a sexcapade with Jen Shah as the cause for the black eye.
Yeah, and then just to get like the flash over to her like humping Jen Shah on the bed. I was like, I forgot about that.
Yeah. And that was like one of a few scenes from that night.
Yeah. Tits on the window.
Laying on the poolside recliners.
Yeah. I will say the more she talked about like the shame she feels about the night, I was like, okay, I see this.
I know, but like, wouldn't I obviously? I mean, it's hard to like. What's the word? Like, take that feeling and know to present that as your explanation / defense. Like if she had, at least by the time she was doing confessionals, be like, I am so upset about this.
Right.
What makes me upset about this is that I got so drunk.
Yeah.
Like if this was all this, we would have all been like, oh my God, Heather, like, yes, like we understand what's going on.
It's the timeline.
Yeah.
What do people say? It's the timeline for me. People love saying it's like, it's the dada for me.
It's the for me.
Yeah.
The blank. Yeah. Yeah.
It's the sweatshirt for me.
So I loved, and obviously it was like loving in a trolling way, as like we're kind of wrapping that up. We're setting the friends off. And then the right couch is like, oh, let's take a selfie.
I know.
And I was like, Heather's crying on the other
crying. And like Angie's consoling her with Meredith. Love that selfie. Then they went to Rise after.
Oh my God. Well, the right couch. Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't have picked Rise.
I mean, I wouldn't even know in this day and age what to pick in the Isle of Manhattan.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like the places are still kind of there. Like I'd actually go to Flaming Saddles.
It's too congested.
All those bars are, buddy.
Rise? I don't think Rise is.
Oh yeah, probably more congested because it's not country music themed.
No, but Flaming Saddles is, you're literally like, other than like the front area, it's a hallway.
Rise is tiny, teeny.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a Brooklyn boy. What can I say? Okay. We have to talk about the Hillen journey. Which I wonder if like she even regrets bringing this up on the show.
No. I heard somebody talking about like the similarities between Whitney and Ashley Darby in the way, like, they're not going through the same hill and journey, but they both like are relying heavily on like these, like, they're really into like metaphysical and like all these like shamans and like this type of thing, and like every activity that they plan has like something to do with like a healer of some sort.
The metaphysical.
Isn't that what it's called?
Is that a word? I think so.
There was a section at Borders Back Bay when I worked there
You should know.
called Metaphysical. Okay. And I think it was where all those things lived.
Yeah, so there you go.
This is probably offensive to someone.
And then this is where we get to Heather versus Whitney.
Which, like, let's fix it, girls.
And I get the impression that Whitney is more willing to fix it than Heather is.
Yeah. And Whitney makes some good points. She also makes some stupid points.
Yeah, sure.
So she, like, the point that Whitney's making about how Heather acts with Jen Shaw.
Oh, my God.
Compared to with Whitney. And Heather's like, well, I hold you to a higher standard. And it's like,
yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Like, why?
I mean, and the fact that like the different standard is now, I don't want to have a relationship with you.
Yeah.
Is a pretty drastic different standard.
It's so weird. Just the Jen Shaw and Heather thing just like perplexes me to no end. And like similar with Meredith, though Meredith I think did an okay job of explaining why she kind of like changed her tune a little bit when she talked about Jen's like mental health stuff. But back to Jen and Heather, it kind of reminds me of, and only because they talked about this on The View this week, but like it kind of reminds me of Lindsey Graham's relationship with Donald Trump.
Oh, okay.
It's like this person should be turning against this person at every like turn. Like Trump has insulted Lindsey Graham, Jen Shaw has insulted Heather. Yeah. Like, but it's just like they can't quit them.
Well, as Heather said at the end of the episode, I'm this far down the road with her now. I'm not going to drop her now.
Yeah, and that's
that's Lindsay. Lindsay of House Graham. Wow. Okay. So we get a lot of like clips from BravoCon podcasts, and I don't even know what the point they were trying to make with any of that was.
They were both trying to say, well, so-and-so said bad things or turned against me at this point of time. But I think you're right. I think it's Heather keeps on doubling down, and then I think Heather did the first shot, and then Whitney retaliated. Okay. And then it keeps on going back and forth.
Yeah. This makes me so uninterested in their stay in Thailand.
I was going to say the opposite.
Oh.
I was going to say, I think it'll be interesting to see them among other people and see how they react and see how the others react to them.
Okay.
Especially like with Candy Gal there, and like Candy calls them the Snow Bunnies, which means they both bonded with her in some level.
Yeah.
So I'm actually interested to see this.
I know, but then it just doesn't make any sense. There's no sense there.
Well,
like if they're the snow bunnies, that implies like some togetherness.
I mean, we'll watch what happens live.
Well, we'll watch what happens live. Okay. The husbands was really like
a flash.
We're in, we're out.
Yeah.
I don't like any of them, but I think Seth is the most camera ready.
Yeah. He knows what he's doing. And just like, it felt like, God, what is Lindsay's? I mean, Lisa's
John. I mean, John always feels like he's on like the verge of crying.
And his thing where he was offended by Meredith and Seth was like the most like tiny little throwaway comment.
I know, like, what? Roll footage. Like, you could find like something else.
Yeah.
Like, you made fun.
You
of my wife.
You made a joke about 50 cents and my wife? I liked his brooch, though.
You did like the brooch. You weren't considering.
I might get a brooch for my next occasion where I have to wear a suit.
Okay, yeah. Very chic. I feel like what's the other one? The Wild Rose.
He then was like, I think I could mediate between you guys, between John and Seth.
Oh.
It's like, I love this little acts that we're playing like these are the Jersey men, as if there's like a closeness here.
Try as you might.
Yeah. We can see right through it.
Especially like Coach was in this crew and they're like, fuck him.
Yeah.
He's guilty. Jen's saving him.
I mean, didn't we bring in Angie K's husband at one point?
Oh yeah, I forgot when he was hosting them, I think. Yeah. That was Angie K's husband hosting.
No, they were at Coach's.
Oh, okay.
Or no, maybe it was Angie.
I think they were Angie K's husbands.
Roll the footage.
Roll footage.
Remember when Lisa Barlow said that to the reunion?
Lisa Barlow.
Not this reunion, but a reunion.
But Lisa Barlow, love to hate her, hate to love her. She's like Seth, she's the most camera ready for me. Is that crazy?
You kept on going, she's so cute. She's so cute.
I mean, when she was singing Happy Birthday at the end, was a really cute moment.
I wouldn't call it cute. I did like the hint at reconciliation between her and Meredith. And the fact that Meredith was the one who made the joke about it, I think is good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Meredith was smiling, so that was good.
Yeah.
She doesn't smile too often.
Meredith, I think she's had 3 years, and I think she's finally getting what it takes to be a housewife. Maybe.
When they were singing Happy Birthday?
Yeah.
Was
you
that
gotta
the
pivot.
moment?
You gotta pivot.
I just would love if everyone could, nothing seems that serious amongst the four of them that we can't just figure it out.
I know. It's like, get together off season. You got
2 weeks.
You've got 2 weeks. Get together, be the core four.
Be the core four.
And then
haze the new girls.
Haze Angie H. When it came up that Angie H had helped pay for the legal bills.
We were no. Oh yeah, for the legal. Okay, no, I thought you said medical bills.
I almost started saying medical.
Oh,
yeah.
I was like, what? Shot. This is like Harrington exposed.
I know, and I think Alex was like, I'm sure she didn't want that to be said. And I was like, actually, I'm pretty sure she wanted it to be said. Anytime her name is on anybody's lips, she's happy.
You posting in our Country Queen Instagram page a solo shot of Angie Harrington smiling, maybe the happiest she's ever smiled, sitting on the couch for her very first time. Probably happier than her wedding day.
Yeah. That's how I felt going into the weekend. So I needed something to represent.
Yeah. You really? It was a true representation of heading into the weekend, sliding into the weekend like Angie H. Keep your eyes on Angie.
I have my eyes on her. I'm always in
times.
her Instagram stories.
At all times. Okay. I think that's that. R.I.P. Salt Lake, but
the cameras are up in 2 weeks.
We have a Freak of the Week and the One True Queen. It's kind of one of those it's like a salt and pepper shaker. It's like two things that go together. both occurring at the Breakfast Club.
Yeah. Where you would use salt and pepper.
Where you would use salt and pepper, put it on some eggs. So we have our Freak of the Week, and for me, this is a positive one because I do think this is maybe Nene's first iconic moment in a minute. Mm-hmm. So Nene was on the Breakfast Club, and I kind of felt like they were trying her on for size as a guest co-host or something.
Well, because famously Angela Yee left after several years.
Oh, I didn't. When did she leave? Recently?
A few months ago.
Okay, so are we trying her on
they might
first?
be trying people out.
Okay.
Angela Yee, who owns a coffee shop in my neighborhood called Coffee Uplifts People Cup.
Oh, I've driven past that so many times. She owns that. Very chic.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is actually a really chic coffee shop.
Keeps things hot and cold. You get an iced coffee, you get a hot coffee. Okay. But Nene just kind of reading the news, talking about the Juan Dixon, Robyn Dixon stuff. And then we get into the starless Real Housewives of Potomac. The starless
Real Housewives.
Robyn Dixon.
Yeah.
We get into famous and known. I'm going to play a little clip right here.
Ooh, honey. Yes, for the starless Robyn Dixon, child.
What?
Starless, honey. Mm-hmm.
Starless?
Starless.
What the hell does that mean, Nene?
Like, these girls on these shows are just not stars. Like, if you really look at it, all of the stars that were on any of these franchises, they took them off. And everybody that's left is starless. Now, gone.
But I thought that show got high ratings.
That's it?
I don't know.
When last time you looked at those ratings, honey? Those ratings are
Nene, stop. Don't do that.
Do you watch the show or you don't watch that show?
I don't watch the show. I watch the clips, though, that come down social media. But I'm not really a TV watcher. I don't watch TV at all.
Okay.
Well, they spoke about it on the Reasonably Shady podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network. Okay. 2 stars, Robyn and Giselle. I think they're stars.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then.
Wow. you the one that's reasonably shady. Lord, completely shady. That'd be the name of Nene podcast. Lord have mercy.
Well, you think they stars?
This had me cracking up. And like the fact that she's even including like Kandi Burruss in this conversation.
And it's like, come on.
It's so petty.
And it's like on paper, reading the story before watching the video, I'm like, God, Nene, just like you just sound so bitter. But listening to the audio,
well, watching and there's video component too. It's comedy.
Yeah,
they don't teach us that.
She's a comedian. Get her back on Glee.
They don't teach us in the comedy schools.
Yeah, fuck UCB. Fuck the Groundlings.
The Groundlings. Second City.
Go to the Leak School of Comedy.
Yes. Go to the Leak School. Okay. So then, our one true queen.
This was an unexpected one.
This was because like I don't love her.
No.
Like she doesn't hold a special place in my heart. But one Ebony K. Williams came onto the Breakfast Club the very next day after being a slight drag by Nene Leakes.
Yeah.
As to whether is Ebony K. Williams famous or is she known?
And Nene, I think, said that she didn't know who Ebony K. Williams was.
She did not know who Ebony K. Williams was. Roll footage.
I was the first black woman on Real Housewives of New York.
Nene said she didn't know who you were.
Yeah, that's so interesting to me, though, because I'm looking at my Instagram DMs, and there you go, Envy. You can see.
That is a receipt.
That's a receipt
Can we
from
read
Miss...
that evidence in court?
Absolutely. Matter of fact, why don't you read it, Charlamagne?
Read out loud.
Closer. Go ahead.
You can read that.
Well, this is from Nene Leakes, February 3rd at 9:07 a.m. Are you still on the show? 3 days later, February 12th. Hello? And then 2 days from that, Ebony K. Williams responds, hello, Nene. Happy to chat in person. My cell is da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Let me know next time you're in New York City.
I'm not sure what was meant when she came on this beloved program and said, I don't know her. That's just factually not true.
Yeah.
I want to say this. So that is just a lie. Okay, so you do know me, Nene, and you do know that I was the first and only black housewife. In fact, I was named in Nene's legal complaint. I am actually a named person as an example of the racial discrimination that she alleged Bravo of participating in.
Oh.
She cites my example, what I went through with Ramona on camera. So,
got you.
Yeah, the court documents say you do know me, Nene. Okay,
Damn.
so anyway.
So if you catch somebody lying, does that mean their whole testimony is a lie?
I would argue that at closing, Envy.
Damn.
I would argue that now you have no credibility on the topic.
You got to give it to Ebony.
You really gotta. And she's on a full-fledged press tour right now for a book. Like, she was on The View today.
I know, I'm like, what are you doing here, Ebony? You trying to get on Legacy right now? But, I mean, I do love the dipping into, like, legal jargon.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, do we build the case against Nene? Like, case closed. Throw the book at her.
It was really good. And it's, like, perfect Housewives fodder. Like this is what we need to be fighting over and like laughing about. Like this is where Salt Lake City needs to go, as I was saying earlier. Yeah, and it's like I know both of them don't really have the best relationship with Bravo right now, but let's get cameras up and Ultimate Girls Trip with the two of them.
Let's drop the lawsuit, Nene, and get on an Ultimate Girls Trip. Do we know each other? Do we not know each other? We see each other.
It could be like a whole Ultimate Girls Trip that's like squash that beef, like they played at BravoCon.
Yeah, we're putting in pairs that need to squash it.
Yeah, Giselle and Ramona.
Oh, God.
Vicky and Ramona.
Ramona and the cast.
Reza and Kyle. For some reason, Reza's invited.
Reza, for the first time in her history, a man on an Ultimate Girls Trip. Wow, what a week. What a week. As always, head on over to comethroughqueen.com for links to everything. Much like Robyn, gotta plug the Patreon. We have a pre-show this week, The Last of Us.
Oh, The Last of Us. I'm going to go home and watch it again.
Oh my God. Brendan just keeps rewatching. He managed to watch all of Shotgun Wedding. Even more. Obviously, links to the Instagram page if you want to catch a picture of Angie Harrington looking happy.
Oh, yeah. Let's get that photo to 100 likes. Go like that photo.
That's Brendan's campaign. Support Angie. And yeah, just like, comment, subscribe. Heart, share, retweet.
Love us, please retweet.
We'll see you next week. Bye.
I wanna see ya come through, Queen.